It just keeps getting worse and worse. The scale of this government-set cover-up has grown farther than we could ever imagine. The House Democrats and Republicans are teaming up in Congress to unredact the file names and announce them to the world. Based! That's exactly what should be happening. The two parties need to be coming together right now. And we got more names, y'all. I think they released 6 names, and there's a lot of co-conspirators that are still unredacted, but they're currently trying to uncover those. The DOJ and the FBI are engaging in a crazy cover-up, the likes of which we haven't seen before. Billionaire names are being revealed now. Government officials within the White House are being revealed. And there's also shit about Epstein's death being really, really sus. A lot of people have been theorizing about what could have happened. A lot of people think they know the scope of what truly happened. But we might be wrong about it all. If you're asking Zaffi, aren't you a movie channel? What the hell are you doing talking about this? Listen, I'm a vigilante. Above everything. I do talk about the degeneracy of the elites, and we are living in a fucking movie. This might be the most important movie of our lifetimes. We are being ruled by pure evil, and it is being exposed every day, and what are we gonna do about it? I'm not just gonna sit silently on this one, y'all. I can't. Now, one of the biggest things that came out that the congressman saw from the files is, guess what? The FBI scrubbed that shit clean before the DOJ even got it. You know how the DOJ would redacted a bunch of shit? Guess what? That shit that was redacted was also pre-scrubbed before they even got it. They went over that shit with a fine-tooth comb. Who knows what we don't know? Who knows how many things got fucking removed? How many names we don't know that are on there? We've seen 1% of them. And you know what? I actually believe this is the case because there are some names that 2 weeks ago, I was like, okay, this name appears 100 times, 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 3,000 times. No, it turns out some of these names are in there millions of times, and we're going to get to exactly who. And this idiot and his entire agency covered it up. This is a criminal, ladies and gentlemen. No defamation at all. This is a comedy. I'm Dave Chappelle. By any legal account, this is a criminal. He lied under oath and is doing clear obstruction of justice. I don't know what the fuck else you would even call it. Lock him up. Now, the DOJ is now unredacting documents because Thomas Massey and the Congress have been pushing for it and saying, we're going to start calling out names if you don't, the names we do know. And so that forced the DOJ's hand. So now we got a couple names that have come out, all right? Les Wexner, if you're not familiar with him, he's the founder of L Brands, parent company of Victoria's Secret. He owns that shit, all right? He gave Epstein power of attorney over his finances and gifted him a large private home in Manhattan. A lot of victims have tied him to Epstein. Accusers have long claimed that Epstein used Victoria's Secret as a recruiting tool, with associates posing as modeling scouts to lure young women in for a sex trafficking ring. And you know what? I would believe it because they literally have done that in other countries. They've been doing it. Turkey, Ukraine, was it Romania too? There's a bunch of countries where they do this, where they use modeling talent agencies as scouts to lure in women so they can get fucked, so they can get destroyed by the higher-ups. I have to censor the hell out of this, but another name that's been released is Sultan bin Soleim. This guy has some of the weirdest emails with Epstein, the most disgusting things you've seen, talking about certain body parts being used with food and sexual organs. This guy is a degenerate weirdo. You know that one email that was redacted saying, I love the torture video, and we were wondering, why the hell would you redact that name? Clearly this is not a victim. Yeah, that was sent by this guy. What was the torture video? I wonder. Apparently this guy pitched Epstein on a UK infrastructure deal. The Sultan wanted Epstein's help getting the UK government support for the deal. This is the same Sultan who sent him that torture email. This guy used a sex trafficker in Epstein as his government fixer on billion-pound deals. That's how far spread this corruption is, man. Al Sekel. Apparently this dude is an artist or an illusionist. I don't know what he is, but he dated or married Ghislaine Maxwell's sister. I don't know, but regardless, he's talking about hacking the wiki to make Epstein look better and remove sex offender from him and change his mugshot. This is so insane, man. Some of these guys I don't know a ton about. There's not a lot about them online. Brian Bishop emailing Epstein about designer babies. Remember, Epstein wanted to create his own race with his own DNA and experiment on babies to do it. This guy is emailing him about that. I think this guy's a podcaster, producer, and radio personality. Who the fuck wrote this slide? I think. No defamation. I don't want to give out false information, but the only thing I could find on a publicly named Brian Bishop, it could be someone else named Brian Bishop. I'm completely willing to say that. Now, so here's some other names. Salvatore Nuara, Zurav Michaelides, Leonik Leonov. There's a lot of these guys that there's not a lot of public information on them, okay? Nicola Caputa. This guy's a former member of the European Parliament, okay? And then we got some stuff on Trump. Now, I'm kind of annoyed just saying this guy's name because I know there's still people who defend this. Now look, people are saying there was apparently a police report. Apparently Trump called the police and said, yo, thank goodness you're stopping Epstein and Ghislaine. They're evil. You should focus on Ghislaine Maxwell as well. I have to get the hell out of there. And a lot of people are saying, oh my God, see, Trump was the good guy all along. He was a whistleblower. I think critical thinking has left the building. And this is why I'm saying when politics is injected into anything, when political indoctrination is injected into anything, truth is gone. It's a fart in the wind. He did this in 2006, I believe. He did this after Epstein was already being investigated for sex crimes. There's no whistleblowing here. Do you know what the fucking word whistleblower means? You need to reserve that shit for people like Snowden. Not this, where he's covering his own ass, clearly. Trying to save face. You know, let me just grant you, by the way, that Trump maybe did a good thing by calling the cops and saying, hey guys, good job on Epstein. By the way, you should look at Ghislaine as well. Let me grant you that maybe Trump did a good thing, okay? You know that there is still credible evidence that he dabbled in shit with Epstein, right? You know that weirdo, creepy birthday message that he denied sending? This one? He denied sending this, right? It's in an email. It literally says he's the one who sent it. Him and some other people prepared it. But this is real. Okay, this is real. And some of the things that are referenced in this, yeah, really, really sus. In 2003, this was on. Okay, and why did you continue contact after? You know, there's email threads, flight log reporters saying that he was on Epstein's plane. He was on flight logs. There were emails talking about meetings with Donald Trump and Donald Trump's son for dinner and all that shit. Why were you in contact with them afterwards if you're such a good guy and a whistleblower for them, right? Why are you still in contact after they're known to be sex criminals? Why is there a rep saying you lied about not inviting Epstein to Mar-a-Lago anymore because of this sexual allegation that was made against him? You clearly lied. There's also an email indicating that this was a lie too, that he was invited back. He also, I believe in 2020, claimed he didn't know anything about Epstein's crimes. So what the hell was this phone call he made to police saying, yeah, good job, man. By the way, Ghislaine Maxwell is also bad. Speaking of Ghislaine Maxwell, because things aren't adding up here, in 2020, when he's asked about it, he's like, oh, I wish her well. She's a great person. I met her in Palm Beach with Epstein. He talks about her greatly, and he gave her a cushy little prison to be in, if you can even call it that. And whenever she is forced to ask about Trump, she's like, I waive my Fifth Amendment rights. And you know what? On top of that, I will clear President Trump's name as long as he gives me a pardon. Oh, how wonderful. As if this ain't as corrupt as it fucking gets, ladies and gentlemen. And also, he's mentioned again and again in the Epstein files. He's mentioned in the list of people that had knowledge of the finances and Ghislaine and Epstein's sexual desire of minor girls, and still chilled with them. Also, he's mentioned in the files, not 3,000 times, millions of times. You know that Congress people actually went and looked at the files and saw how many times this guy was in there and was like, how the fuck is he redacted this many times? How is none of this even touched upon? This might be the biggest cover-up ever. All right? Now, Trump and his people are saying, oh, this is a hoax. This is a Democratic hoax. Okay, you guys beat the drum about releasing these before getting elected. You guys remember that? Your administration did that. As soon as you got it, silence. Pure silence. Oh, you guys are still talking about Epstein? That's what's being said. This is not an innocent man. You would have to do a lot of reality distortion within your own mind to think this is still an innocent man. And I don't take pleasure in saying that. I say this with a heavy heart because I, believe it or not, I used to like this guy once upon a time, way back in the day. I thought he was a funny and entertaining dude. I thought, oh, maybe politics needs a guy like this who speaks real, who talks like a real person, not a fucking robot. I can't overlook what I've seen this year, what I've seen on these documents. I can't overlook this. You cannot let, in political indoctrination, you cannot let your feelings get in the way of this. Oh, but it's all fake, it's all allegations, it's all BS. Bruv, take everything into account. You know that's not the truth. You know. And again, this is not me trying to attack Republicans and Trump. This is not a Trump Republican MAGA thing. The Democrats are in this as well. They've all been implicated. We already know Clinton's in it. We all know Biden's name is mentioned in it. Look at this. Hakeem Jeffries is in the Epstein files. Democratic Party fundraisers invited Jeffrey Epstein to a private meeting with the Jeffries in 2013, trying to raise money from a child sex trafficker, someone who's already had sex crimes on his resume. Both parties are in it. Of course a lot of Democratic donors want him. Both parties have been infiltrated! Especially when you know what Epstein actually was and who he was working for. This whole two-party system's a fucking joke. None of it matters. It's not a conspiracy anymore. The conspiracy shit has gone out the window with the stuff that's being released here. We are pawns in this fucking stupid electoral scheme. Bill Clinton is mentioned in it. Why do you think he's doing his old kamikaze stunt where he's like, yeah, release the Epstein files. I'm going to do a testimony. I'm going to say that he's only saying this because he knows how badly he's been exposed already. Again, more people are being exposed. There was apparently an elite dinner planned with the likes of Elon Musk, Larry Page, Jeffrey Epstein, and a satanic artist, Marina Abramovic. I think she is an artist who does a lot of crazy surrealist dark art, and she got into controversy for depicting satanic shit. So there is that. Very sus. Again, Elon Musk is in there, even though he's trying to save face and say, oh, but I'm trying to protect victims. Go fuck yourself. Sam Harris is in this. Apparently he had an email with Epstein. Now again, this doesn't mean anything, and Sam Harris has claimed I don't remember ever sending this, so who knows. I don't think Sam Harris molested a child or anything, and there's no evidence to say that, but you know what? Still sus, whatever. A UAE diplomat who now directs a UAE Committee for Human Rights appears 469 times. She's talking about getting girls to Epstein. Getting one girl ready is difficult enough. 2 girls you can certainly call a challenge. You know what else? She apparently tried to traffic her 13-year-old sister, or did. This is degeneracy. These are degenerates. Lock them all up. Hang them at this point. No condemnation of violence. I'm joking. She's known for championing women's rights and all that shit. Look, I always find it sus, the people who talk the most about human rights and all this. You all know. All these people need to be looked at. They all have baggage. She trafficked her own fucking sister. This is crazy. Howard Lutnick. I think he's the Secretary of Commerce for Trump. He apparently was given a property for $10 that was worth millions by Epstein. Again, this is a dude just saying, I never had any business or social contact with Epstein. Clearly fucking not. And there are emails that say otherwise too. Again, another corrupt, degenerate fuck. Fuck this dude. Apparently he was questioned by the Senate or whatever, and they went off on him. He's not the only one who's being questioned, by the way. And there's stuff about babies, guys, in these emails. I'm going to make a separate video on that because it's really, really disturbing, and I don't want... listen, 2 of my Epstein videos have already been age restricted. I'm not trying to get demonetized, okay? But there's stuff about babies. It's going to make you fume with anger, okay? Now, there are more names that need to be unredacted. I'm going to show you the names that need to be unredacted. These are sus people. They're degenerates. There needs to be consequence, okay? Here. Epstein apparently had a specific gynecologist he would send his victims to. By the way, there is a room in the Epstein Island. This bed chair with this dentist operating thing. I don't know what it is. It looks really sus. There's this weird masks all over it. If you know the room, you know the room. I think that's exactly what they're referring to. Do you remember the name of the gynecologist that you used to send your victims to? What? Look how casually they're talking about this shit. It's insane. I can't take it anymore. I just saw the most beautiful little girl on Madison with soft blonde hair. Why are these people being redacted? They're not victims. Who is this? This dude is talking about victims. He's not a victim himself. Why are they being redacted? Can you tell me this? Can you answer this? This is one of the worst ones, and this got a lot of people pissed off. So, from Jeffrey Epstein to someone who's been fucking redacted. Of course, the "oh Jesus, I'm coming" trick. So they're talking about somebody who I think is a victim. She said that she felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her, and he helped save her life. Whoops. Haha. Oh, she thought Jesus was next to her. Instead, she got somebody else. Whoops, they're joking about it. They're joking about it. Why are they redacted? These people need to be all in a video game. There's a bunch of people who've been redacted talking about food. And people are saying this is codename shit at this point. This is pizza, all this stuff, that Pizzagate stuff. This is all codename stuff. Now, some could say this is just conspiracy bullshit. We do know there are emails of them referencing babies and cream cheese together. That's literally something that's said in the emails. There's no conspiracy about it. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a thing. And also, why are the names redacted? Please tell me this. A victim called the FBI in 2019 about abuse starting in 1994. She was abducted from her home, taken to Epstein's Florida mansion, and assaulted 7 different times, and the FBI buried everything. This isn't the first allegation and report that the FBI have just ignored conveniently, by the way, as it relates to Epstein. This goes to show you the cover-up. An FBI document found in Epstein files discusses how a decoy dead body was used after Epstein supposedly died. A decoy body to subvert the media, make the media chase out while they took the real body and fled with it. Okay, now some people said, oh, does this mean Epstein's alive and he didn't die and they faked his death? I'm not sure about that. I think he's dead, but I just don't think he died in that cell, or the way that we were told, obviously. He's probably taken somewhere else and killed, if I had to imagine. But there's some other weird shit. It appears a document showed that an FBI agent purposely removed a hard drive from the Epstein prison video recording system, knowingly erasing all prison footage. And this does coordinate with headlines about the fact that there was 3 minutes cut out of the Epstein security footage. Metadata from the raw Epstein prison video shows approximately 2 minutes and 53 seconds removed from one of the 2 stitched together clips. The cut starts right after the missing minute. You cannot ignore this. This is such a clear cover-up. It's clear as day unless you're a dumb imbecile. 2 years after Epstein's alleged suicide, emails are discussing scheduling a call with him. The same emails also claim Epstein was living in Colorado at the time. So people are saying, okay, was he placed in witness protection or something? Who are they trying to call? Maybe it's one of his family members that they're talking about? Maybe it's his brother? perhaps if we're being charitable. There are a couple of possibilities here. Either he's alive in some WITSEC program, we don't know, or he's on an island somewhere, or in Tel Aviv, or he was killed in his cell. We know he didn't off himself. That's just not a thing that's in the cards right now. I think we're smart enough to know that. Or he died in that cell. The security people killed him and they cut the minutes out of the footage. Or he was taken somewhere else and killed later. Maybe a couple weeks after. That's what I think happened, personally. But who we can never know. Are there any repercussions for this? Well, yes and no. We got a couple people trying to testify. Kash Patel has been forced to testify in front of Congress. Pam Bondi, as I'm speaking, is testifying right now. I've seen a couple clips that are coming out as this thing is going. She's getting absolutely flamed and lit up by Thomas Massey and MTM. Good! They should be pushing her on this. And she literally lied. They're calling her out for lying under oath. She's like, oh, this is all democratic outrage and all this. And this guy's like, sister, you know that the FBI got a report, multiple reports, about Trump and Epstein. Trump was calling Epstein. The limo driver heard it. He met a girl who apparently claimed that she was molested by Epstein and Trump in a car. She also reported that to the FBI, I think, or law enforcement herself. She got her head blown off, and the police ruled it out. This cannot be a suicide. There is foul play here. The FBI didn't even look into this. This didn't warrant an investigation for them. And Pam Bondi had no answer. They simply asked her, were minors involved in any of these parties that Trump was at? And she was like, this is so pathetic. Trump has done nothing wrong, committed no crime. This is blatant lie. These are blatant fucking lies. And by the way, she says, I fight for victims and will continue to do so, and redactions were needed. Not only to protect victims, which you know is a lie. You're not only redacting victims, so that's bullshit. But they cannot release all the video footage that's in the Epstein files because it reveals child pornographic material. So we don't want to release it. It's too sensitive. Why would we release that? It's not relevant to the investigation. Okay, interesting. I can choose to believe that, right? But the problem is, I don't believe any of the other statements you guys have been making for the last month. Kash Patel lied under oath by saying, no trafficking of minors. This is what he said. Nothing implicating Trump is in this. Redactions are only for victims. All three of these statements are lies. He lied under oath. So did she. CoffeeZilla interviewed one of the congressmen who released these names. Apparently the FBI did a systematic review in this summer, and they said there's no incriminating client list. But you know what? There are literally interior deck sheets that the FBI have of prominent names. They have a list. Trump, Prince Andrew, Jess Staley, Leon Black, Les Wexner, Howard Lutnick, Bill Clinton. Clearly you have a list. So that's also another lie. By the way, look at that statement. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation. You can't even warrant an investigation? I'm not saying you have to arrest people, but not even an investigation? You can't even question Bill Gates? You can't even question Les Wexner? You can't even question Musk or Trump or any of these guys? Are you insane? No, that's a cover-up, bruv. You don't want to question them. You know that there's a lot of billionaires that own you that don't want this looked into. European elites have faced some consequences, but the American elites have faced none. This is the biggest cover-up and scandal we've seen. You could say, oh, maybe Watergate, oh, maybe Snowden, maybe the Iran-Contra thing where we were selling arms to Iran to fund Nicaragua's rebel war or whatever. I think this kind of goes beyond them because we're dealing with, this is what essentially it is. A potential Mossad agent, I don't want to say the actual word of what he is because I don't want to get demonetized, a Mossad agent, who may or may not be alive, by the way, with blackmail on every elite and leader, with a global sex trafficking ring, where the eating, not only the molesting, but eating of children was involved, government cover-ups and corporate control at the highest level, and the current government administration is still covering it up. This is the biggest scandal of our lives. We need more investigations, more hearings, more trials, because it will make it seem that way. You know, remember how viral Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's trial was? Remember how big a deal that was? This needs to be 10 times that deal. I need the casuals to see this. There's a lot of people who don't even know the shit's going on. That's a mistake. I think I'm going to start a secret society of vigilantes, bro. I'm done at this point. Nothing illegal is happening here. This is a non-political secret society I'm starting. People are interested. If you're not, that's fine. And there's no illegal activities here at all. No, nothing like that. We're just a couple people talking about the truth about reality. So if you're interested, maybe. It's just a fun little club, guys. That's all it is. For NSA or police or anyone watching this right now. Hit me up in my email. Hit me up in my email. That's all I'm going to say, alright, guys? We need to end this shit. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. but the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.